Good evening and welcome to the evening session of Day 2 of the India Startup Festival 2023. We offer our collective respects to Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai and a hearty welcome to the dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Galla Ramachandra Naidu, founder, Amaraja Group. Dr. Nageshwar Reddy, Chairman of the Asian Institute of Gastroenterology and AIG Hospitals, Hyderabad.
Dr. Raja Mohan Rao, Chairman and Founding Member, United Telecoms Limited. Mr. Shivakumar Surampudi, Chairman, Technico Agri Sciences Limited.
Mr. Vineet Rai, Founder, the Avishkar Group.
Dr. Kazuhiro Chiba, President, Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology, Japan. Mr. Sri Atluri, Managing Director, Global Head of Enterprise Quality Engineering at BNY Mellon.
Mr. J.A. Chowdhury, Key Architect, Indian Tech Industry, Chairperson and Convener, India Startup Festival. Mr. B.N. Narsamurthy, Chancellor, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence.
Our founder, Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, visionary leader spearheading service initiatives in the verticals of nutrition, education and healthcare across 33 countries and the guiding light behind the India Startup Festival.
I think we can all agree that we have had a wonderful 2 days thus far with engaging and thought-provoking dialogue, networking sessions, and ample opportunities for collaboration. This evening, we will have 4 more memorandums of exchange of understandings exchanged. The first MOU will be between the India Startup Foundation and the Atal Incubation Center, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. May we please invite Mr. Ramji Pallela, Chief Operating Officer of AICCCMB, and Mr. J.A. Chowdhury to please come forward. The MOU aims to support the creation of a collaborative ecosystem for startup development.
Moving on, the next MOU will be between India Startup Foundation and iSprout Dynamic Co-working Space. May we please invite Mr. Praveen, Assistant Vice President Operations, onto the dais for the exchange. Mr. Praveen from iSprout Dynamic Co-working Space. Thirdly, My Startup TV will collaborate with the India Startup Foundation as a media partner. May we please invite Major Sunil Shetty for the MOU exchange. Major Sunil Shetty from My Startup TV.
Firstly, thank you, Sayedji and Chaudhary sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My Startup TV is a dedicated startup media for startups. And we have created this because we wanted to give exposure and for the Indian startup community, be it investors, be it entrepreneurs. And I take this opportunity to say this, that My Startup TV, all our 4 verticals, which is the OTT platform, world's first OTT platform for startups, and our magazine that we launched today, which is a monthly magazine, e-magazine, our podcast, and our web television where we broadcast 24/7, will be used for promoting all the startups that are associated with ISF and also the enablers. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir, it's free of cost. As sir says, free of cost. We'll not charge for that. Thank you.
Sadhguru often says that the purpose of life is to lead a life of purpose. And in finding the purpose of one's life, one also positively impacts the lives of everyone else around them. The India Startup Foundation takes this opportunity to recognize and honor the invaluable contributions of 8 such illustrious individuals, alongside successful careers in their respective fields. Each of them has exemplified the virtues of integrity, hard work, dedication, and most importantly, they have all stayed rooted in their value systems. May I first invite Mr. Bipin Pendyala, co-founder of the India Startup Festival, to please open this segment. Mr. Bipin.
Good evening, everybody. It's an actual pleasure for the entire ISF team to be here and to be able to honor some of the people for their Lifetime Achievement Award. As all of you would have realized by now, the tenets of ISF is essentially to look at the rural and the rural poor, look at agriculture, look at financial inclusion, look at impact through our life to the larger society. And we've been very, very fortunate to be able to identify, and most important, we've been very fortunate that we were able to request, and these individuals have actually graciously accepted the Lifetime Achievement Award that ISF wants to give them. And at ISF, we strongly, strongly believe that by giving the award to them, it is not an honor to them, it's actually an honor to the ISF for the opportunity that they are bestowing on us by accepting the award. And we really, really thank you, all of you, to have taken the time to come here and to accept our award. Thank you very much.
Our first Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Dr. Galla Ramachandra Naidu Garu for excellence in manufacturing. Dr. Naidu has made pioneering efforts in establishing quality manufacturing in rural India for industrial and automotive batteries through his company, the Amar Raja Group. Having envisaged and lived the dream of Make in India, Dr. Naidu has led his life on the 5 core values of innovation, excellence, entrepreneurship, experience, and responsibility. Dr. Naidu's efforts have ushered an enduring transformation in the local community, particularly the youth. We will now have a short video about him.
Galla Ramachandra Naidu with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Manufacturing. His pioneering effort in revolutionizing quality manufacturing in rural India for industrial and automotive batteries is exemplified by the creation of the Amar Raja Group. Amar Raja Group currently has US $1.75 billion revenue and has created thousands of direct and indirect jobs and exports products to over 50 countries. He envisaged and lived the dream of Make in India well before it became mainstream thought for the nation. He has led his life on the 5 core values of innovation, excellence, entrepreneurship, experiences, and responsibility. His immense contribution goes beyond his role as a leading corporate leader. His efforts have ushered an enduring transformation in the local community and the people, particularly youth. He has made significant contributions to society and community through CSR activities focused on village development, skill development, rural youth development, education, and primary healthcare. He has received multiple awards and recognitions. Best Entrepreneur of the Year Award from E&Y, Udyog Ratan Award, Lifetime Achievement Award by IESA are just a few to name. By honoring Dr. Galla Ramachandra Naidu with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Manufacturing, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements and contributions to nation building and society.
May we now request Dr. Galla Ramachandra Naidu Garu to share a few words, please.
Sadhguruji, my friend Jaya Chaudhary Garu, all distinguished guests on the stage here, also our friends off the stage. It's my great privilege today, after so many years of experience in going through the starting of the industries in rural area, building up the employment in where they needs a job. We never had the opportunities earlier. And today, almost about 18,000 people we are employing completely, first time, majority of them into our factory from rural background. Most of them agrarian culture. And today we are very proud and happy what we achieved. But still, I hope I will have some more things to go through. Now, through the foundation, we have been starting some of the activities connected to the rural area. After my retirement, I living in my village. Everybody says, how to do it? But I got more job now with all the rural, providing them the good access for the quality education, where it needs the preliminary, elementary, high school and higher secondary school, which give them a strong foundation to go forward into their life. And also skill development centers we are keeping. Those who have passed or dropped out from the high schools, government schools, whatever the schools are there. We prepare them to be good skilled worker. Any of the areas of the industry or construction or wherever they can go through that one, there is another contribution we would like to give it to the skilled manpower to the country. And rural health is another area we are working on that one. Primary health center, primary health care where the rural people don't have the access, getting some of the outside doctors, giving some of the consultation to go through that one there. These are the most of the times I am concentrating. We'll be hopefully give something, whatever the best service we can do. Thank you very much for the award, and I'm really honored to take this award. Thank you.
The next award goes to Dr. Nageshwar Reddy for excellence in healthcare. As a recognized global authority and healthcare expert, Dr. Reddy has contributed greatly as a leading physician and international expert in the field of gastroenterology. Dr. Reddy has numerous orations, publications, and textbooks to his credit and has received numerous prestigious awards, including the Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. We will now have a short video about Dr. Reddy.
Dr. D. Nageshwar Reddy with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Healthcare. His pioneering efforts have been instrumental in establishing a premier healthcare institute that is specifically focused on gastroenterology, thereby raising the standards for expert and quality healthcare at an affordable cost. He is a recognized global authority and healthcare expert and has received numerous prestigious awards. Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Japanese Endoscopy Research Foundation Award, International Service Award from American Society of Gastroenterology, just to name a few. His immense contributions goes beyond his role as a leading physician and international expert in the field of gastroenterology. He has served as International Committee Board Member for OMED Standards of Practices and Guidelines, World Gastroenterology Organization, and many more. He has numerous national and international orations to his credit and has over 900 publications and authored 14 textbooks. By honoring Dr. D. Nageshwar Reddy with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Healthcare, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements, and contributions to nation building and society.
May we please invite Dr. Reddy to share a few words.
Sadhguruji, J. Chaudhary Garu, and distinguished guests. When Ms. J. Chaudhary actually suggested that I should come for this award, I was a little puzzled. I didn't realize the magnitude of this festival itself. I'm so impressed with what's happening in this festival. I thought I must be a part of this in future also, because the quality of work and I think the thought behind this is extremely good. In fact, I'm honored and humbled by this award. There were two incidences that shaped my life. The first, when I finished my gastroenterology at the PGH Chandigarh and worked in Germany and came back, I started practice in Hyderabad. I had a huge practice. I was seeing 200 patients a day. I was making a lot of money, had problems with income tax and so on. So it looked like a very prosperous life. One day, 4 years since practice, my father called me. My father was a pathologist academician. He called me to the house and told me, scolded me that you're wasting your life. I said, why do you think? I've achieved everything. I've had a huge practice. I'm doing a lot of medicine for society. He said, no, that is not life. He said, have you built institutions? Have you looked after poor patients? Have you taught students? Have you done research? I looked back and realized I did nothing of that. I was just making money for myself. At that moment, I decided to change course and we started building this institution. So this small 2-room chamber that Ms. J. Chaudhary knows, we now have the world's largest gastroenterology hospital. It has, we see over 12 lakh patients a day, over a year, and of course treat thousands of them with complex gastrointestinal disease, attracting patients from all over the world. We have around 400 senior consultants, 200 junior doctors, about 5,600 staff. When I look back, I think this incident actually shaped my life. The second incident actually that shaped my life was when I was asked to be a part of the healthcare team for Puttaparthi Sai Baba. Sai Baba, even in his final days, when I was actually treating him, I could see the compassion in his face, the compassion in his eyes, the way he used to hold our hands. It was as if that he was guiding us and not we treating him. This compassion as the last part of his life was something that really touched me. We then decided that a part of our life should also be devoted to serving rural poor. 70% of our patients are in rural poor who can't get access, just not alone money-wise, even social access to what is happening in the cities. We then set up these large rural camps where we now have about 20,000 villages in Telangana area where we look after these rural patients free of cost, supported by several trusts. And what was also very enlightening to us in this is that something is happening here. Our government, all the local governments are doing a good job. Many of these villages now are being given good water supply, sanitation, infectious diseases have disappeared. We don't see diarrheal disease, but something else is happening, unfortunately. This something else is because of Western influences. All these villages are having the so-called ultra-processed foods, Western habits, and Western type of culture. And this is now giving rise to Western type of diseases. We have now one of the world's largest incidence of IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, which was not an Indian disease, never seen before, but now we are seeing such large numbers because of this Westernization. Our mission has now become to reverse this. We should come back to our culture, come back to our root, even the eating pattern that we had before. If we come back to our natural circumstances, I'm sure we not only lose our old infective diseases, but we don't get this new Western disease. And this has become a mission for me now. Hopefully, with help from a lot of friends, we'll be able to achieve this. And we at the AHG hospitals are very committed to bringing this transformation. And I'm extremely grateful to Sadhguru for receiving this award from him and Ms. J. Chaudhary for the opportunity to be here and witness all the good work that's being done by India Festival. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts with all of us this evening. The next award goes to Dr. Raja Mohan Rao for Excellence in Telecom. Having established and grown JT Mobiles, an early entrant in the mobile telecommunications space, Dr. P. Raja Mohan Rao started the United Telecoms Group, which he expanded into a multifaceted organization covering telecom, electronics and communication, e-governance and software and power, with over 6,000 people employed over 25 countries. Dr. Rao has a zeal for research and development, which brought in self-sufficiency and has significantly reduced import dependency in the telecom sector. Big round of applause for Dr. Raja Mohan Rao for excellence in telecom. We will now have a short video about him.
Dr. P. Raja Mohan Rao with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Telecom. His pioneering effort have played a crucial role in not only establishing but also fostering the growth of the telecom sector in the country. He established and grew JT Mobile, an early entrant in the mobile telecommunications space. After JT Mobile acquisition, he started United Telecoms Group and grew it into a multifaceted organization covering telecom, electronics and communication, e-governance, software and power, and employing over 6,000 people across 25 countries. His immense contribution goes beyond his role as a leading entrepreneur and corporate leader. His zeal for R&D brought in self-sufficiency and significantly reduced import dependency in the telecom sector. He served as the president of the Telecom Equipment Manufacturers Association. By honoring Dr. P. Raja Mohan Rao with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Telecom, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements and contributions to nation building and society.
May we request Dr. Raja Mohan Rao ji to share a few words, please.
So Sadhguru and J. Chaudhary, my old friend for last 40 years, and Dr. Nageshwar Reddy, whose patient I am. And I've never seen a doctor like him in my life. My wife is a doctor. She did practice for about 25 years, free, being a gynecologist, but that is nothing compared to what Dr. Nageshwar Reddy is doing. And you all, and if you go to his hospital, poor and rich are treated same way. And I was surprised when I went for a surgery. It didn't cost me nothing actually. So that is why I realized this is, in his hospital, it will be thousands of people who are there for treatment. So if any one of you have any gastro problem, related problems, I think you should visit their hospital. And they are the best in the world. This is confirmed to me by the leaders in their business. They said there is nothing like that in India. So I'm very proud, sir. You are my doctor. And about myself, I don't want to say much, but I came from a humble background like most of us are. I was born in a village near Vijayawada on the banks of Krishna River. So we had plenty of water. So if you dig 5 feet, you get water. So we had another problem. So when you have floods, not that kind of flood that you see in some other parts of India, but we have islands in the river, so everything gets submerged. And our village have fountains coming up, 15 feet, 20 feet fountains come up from the ground, and all the open wells will be flowing with water. So that is a bounty of water. But other parts of India don't have same problem. Then I went to Delhi to study. So I used to be at Prime Minister's house for some reason. Most of the time during my student days for 5 years, I found people were begging Mrs. Gandhi for a telephone connection. People used to say, मैडम जी मैं बाहर रहता हूँ, मेरा पिताजी का तबीयत नाजुक है, मैं बार बार नहीं आ सकूँगा, कृपया मेरे को एक टेलीफोन दिला दीजिए. So she used to hand over these papers, applications to her staff. And I've seen same problem with members of parliament. Their houses are flooded with people requesting for a phone. And I never knew that I was coming into telecom business after I got married. I shifted from Delhi to Bangalore. I always thank my wife for bringing me to Bangalore because this is the best place in the world to live. In India, also one of the best places in the world to live. And I used to attend classes, summer classes of Sai Baba. And I still remember, I don't remember anything that I was taught in my school days, nor in my college days. But I always remember what Baba used to, tell us so many life experiences. And I still remember many of them. And I tell my children, my wife knows him when she was 5-year-old. So we are privileged, but I never met him personally. But I've heard him every summer, every day. So I thought in telecom, when I came to telecom business, we were having a license Raj. I'll take 3-4 minutes if it is okay. So I found we were an ancillary to ITI. ITI was the only company which made telecom equipments. And anybody, even government organizations like state government, cannot even think about telecom. So we were an ancillary to ITI. So we learned our initial technology from ITI because that time India had only, in 1982, India had only 3 million phone lines. Our family came into telecom business when India had just 1 million phone lines in 1961. The population at that time was 300 million. And in 1982, it became 750 million. And the phone population was just grown by 2 million in 20 years. So the result was there is no connectivity even for state capitals. So there's no phone system in the village or taluka level. So you have to book a trunk call. And people used to say, आज trunk call book किया है, पता नहीं कब आने वाला है, मैं तो इधर से हिलूंगा नहीं आज. So I hope some of you understand Hindi. I can translate otherwise. So those were the days. You have to wait for 10 years to get a telephone line. And they were all analog systems, very difficult. You needed an operator assistance. So then came our friend Sam Petroda. So without remembering two names, Rajiv Gandhi and Sam Petroda, telecom revolution would not have arrived at all. And around 4,000 engineers, young engineers, like many of you, have started working for CDOT with a lot of passion. So he introduced 5-day week, which was not known to India at that time. So the result was, you can do it, in the American style used to say, you can do it, do it. So engineers never left, in spite of the best salaries offered by many multinational companies. The passion was there. So we became a licensee in 90s of CDOT. And I bought ABB's telecom division and United Telecom from Vijay Mallya. Both were sick companies. I revived them. So the result is, the government had a budget of 400 crores. It can only buy 2 lakh lines a year. And the revenue surplus was less than 400 crores. So the main problem was that. So then we solved the problem by reducing the cost of telecom equipment by 90%. So we sold at 10% of international prices. We made India can also deliver with local technology and with companies like us. So every 4th telephone exchange installed in India was built by us. Every 3rd village having a telecom network was built by us. And we have actually defeated all the multinationals you can remember. We have been able to compete with all of them. Did we make a lot of money? No. Why? Because we thought we should transform the country's infrastructure rather than just making money. So the rural India got connected fast. So you can imagine from a 20 STD stations we had in 1987-90, it has grown to, in 3 years, to 350,000 STD stations. That has transformed India because this 400 crores revenue surplus actually in 4th year became 40,000 crores. I have felt that excitement and I have seen that excitement in my Department of Telecom. I was the only elected president of the Telecom Industry Association till today. And Rajiv Chandrasekhar used to be my vice president, and Sunil Mittal used to be my another vice president. So we became very, very popular because I was nicknamed as L1 Rao. Because every tender we quoted, we became L1. I told my staff, we are not working for money. I never took salary in last 40 years. I don't want to say this in public, but this is a fact. I never work for money. I don't have anything in my personal name. So we have done great service. I only thank my parents, my teachers, my colleagues. They are the ones who are responsible for achieving this. And in the COVID time, our organization worked day and night called Trigen Technologies and built COVID platform with all of you Indians got vaccinated, still going on. We had done this with 400 people staying in different hotels in Delhi, elsewhere in the country, because we have done this kind of program in the past with the UNDP, etc. So in the healthcare, we have done some small contribution, and we are now bringing out what used to be banking industry used to suffer a lot without technology. Healthcare industry has same problem. We're trying to address that problem. I will work with J.A. Chaudhary and Nageshwar Reddy sir and others and make sure that we deliver similar value that we have delivered in telecom. So we also have, some of you are carrying 98450 series, and in Hyderabad 98490 series. You're all our customers. Thanks for continue to be our customers and support us. And we will support rural India. We'll also support urban India. And last, we made a cost-effective phone. We were the first one to introduce a dual SIM phone. We sold for 700 rupees, Carbon Mobile. Some of you who love cricket probably know about this name very well. We are this year making 20 million phones for Jio. And we have a big factory in Tirupati now. We employ 3,000 people in that factory. Thank you very much.
The next award goes to Mr. Sivakumar Surampudi for excellence in agri-tech. Mr. Sivakumar is a thought leader whose pioneering effort in creating and involving the agri-tech sector in India has highlighted farmer empowerment and benefited millions of small farmers. His immense contribution, which has extended to national and international forums, has won him numerous awards and accolades. We will now have a short video about him.
Mr. Sivakumar Surampudi with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Agri-Tech. His pioneering effort in creating and evolving the agri-tech sector in India has helped in highlighting farmer empowerment and benefiting millions of small farmers. As a thought leader, he led the paradigm of fortune for the bottom of the pyramid and worked towards improving the earning potential for the rural populace in a sustainable manner. He was instrumental in envisioning and crafting the E-Chaupal model and ushered in a positive revolution in agri-production, procurement and marketing. E-Chaupal has won numerous awards and accolades. His immense contributions extend well beyond his corporate role, extending to national and international forums. he served as chairman of the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council on Social Innovation, board member of Indo-US Knowledge Initiative on Agriculture, member of UN Global Compact's Core Advisory Group, just to name a few. He was honored with the World Technology Award. By honoring Sivakumar Sirampadi with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Agritech, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements and contributions to nation building and society.
May we please invite Mr. Sivakumar to share a few words.
Sadhguruji Pranam. Thank you, Jay, and all the stalwarts on the dais here and friends amongst you. Any award is humbling, but something to be called as a lifetime is even more humbling. And it's almost surreal that in the midst of all the stalwarts here and at the hands of Sadhguru, I received something already called as Lifetime Achievement Award. And perhaps a time to reflect, in a sense, probably a shorter story. The trigger was not far from here, about 300 kilometers from here, in a village near Kurnool. I was out to do my project work for National Service Scheme in the college in 1980, just to do a socio-economic survey of village, and that probably was the first time, in a sense, I walked and stared at poverty firsthand, coming from an industrial township. And what hit straight is that despite working so hard, the farmers remained in poverty with a very simple equation that everything that they sell is sold at a wholesale price at the beginning of a very long chain. And anything that they buy as farm input is bought at a very high price at the end of another long chain. And in some sense that triggered a purpose for my own professional life. If I were to do something with my professional life, possibly it's reversing this equation. Is it possible to get farmers to buy things at wholesale and sell at equivalent of retail price? And years later, as technology evolved, telecom revolution that we just heard, and things of that sort really enabled, together with the enterprise strengths of ITC and with the eChaupal project, it was possible for us to reverse this equation and the whole project goes from strength to strength. And today we are about 4 million farmers, and the near-term aspiration is to start at least 10 million farmers in terms of the rural areas that we serve and their families. Thank you very much. Certainly, it's once again a very humbling experience. Thank you.
The next award goes to Mr. Vineet Rai for excellence in impact investment. As founder of the Avishkar Group, Mr. Vineet Rai has carved out the impact investment segment in India and has positively impacted the lives of millions of people in Asia and Africa through his entrepreneurship-based development approach. With the vision of We Exist to bridge the opportunity gap for the emerging 3 million, Mr. Rai's work is aligned with 13 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We will now have a short video about Mr. Vineet Rai.
Mr. Vineet Rai with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Impact Investment. His pioneering efforts have been instrumental in creating and establishing the impact investment segment in India, further enhancing its influence and positively impacting millions of people across Asia and Africa through his innovative, entrepreneurship-based development approach. Avishkar Group, founded by Vineet, works with the vision of We Exist to bridge the opportunity gap for the emerging 3 billion and is aligned with 13 out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Avishkar has won multiple awards and accolades under his leadership. His immense contribution goes beyond his role as a leading investor and finance professional. He currently serves on G20 Startup 20 Engagement Group Task Force on Sustainability and on Advisory Committee of Social Stock Exchange, SEBI. He has received numerous awards: TIE Hall of Fame, Impact Investor of the Year by News Corp, Porter Prize for Strategic Leadership in Social Space are just a few to name. By honoring Vineet Rai with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Impact Investment, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements and contributions to nation building and society.
A few words from Mr. Vineet Rai, please.
Sadhguru, Mr. Chaudhary, I'm a little embarrassed, to be honest, to be on the stage along with every dignitary here. Lifetime Achievement Award is an award once in a lifetime. And Sadhguru, I expect to be around for much longer. My journey started especially on the area of impact investing 23 years back. In 2000, like most people, I had seen some poverty, but I got introduced to extreme poverty in the forest of Odisha. And it appeared to me that a question like, can poor become rich, looked very naive, but a very genuine question. It also appeared to me that to become rich, you need to be an entrepreneur. I came from a middle-class family. My father was a government servant. Nobody in the 300 years of history that I could trace in my family had ever been an entrepreneur or a businessman. So it seemed like that if you can actually convince entrepreneurs to create jobs and livelihoods for poor or reduce risk and vulnerabilities in their life, you might be able to make a difference. And one thing I realized that there are enough entrepreneurs who had the willingness and desire to bring about a change in the life of the people, but in absence of capital, money, it was impossible for them to go in this hard, very difficult and long-term journey. And I decided to become the guy who will collect the capital. My problem is I'm a forester by training. And while it is a problem, it's also an advantage. I did not know how difficult it is to manage finance, to raise capital, to convince capital to leave the idea of greed and to look at sustainability. It's been a long journey. We have come some distance over the last 20 years. Today, we manage more than 10,000 crores. But more importantly, we have invested in 75 startups. Some of them have gone ahead and impacted millions of lives. It is not our credit, it is their credit. They are the ones who are impacting lives. But we are committed to take this idea of building ecosystems, making impact beyond Indian shores. And so we made small initiatives in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, now in East Africa. It seems like over the next 10 years, we took a belief that we can take this 10,000 crores to a lakh of crores, and then align ourselves to Sustainable Development Goals. And I actually just wanted to bring everybody to what Sustainable Development Goals stand for. In 2015, 193 countries of the world signed an accord to imagine a world that never existed before, a world without hunger, without poverty, without inequity. Now, this is a word that Homo sapiens, since they started walking straight, have not seen. And for us, those who are sitting in the audience, have the capability, both in terms of ideas, entrepreneurial capabilities, and capital, to bring that change. And we want to be that catalyst that allows the world to achieve that goal. Maybe by 2030, and if not, continue to follow this approach and reach that stage where nobody sleeps hungry and nobody is malnourished. Thank you so much for recognizing me.
The next award goes to Dr. Kazuhiro Chiba for excellence in agrochemistry. As a leading academician and researcher, Dr. Chiba's research in organic chemistry and synthetic methods for peptide pharmaceutical raw materials has been groundbreaking. His peptide synthesis methods have led to the development of peptide-based diabetes drugs, amongst other products. Dr. Chiba is president of the Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology and is also a cooperative member of the Science Council of Japan. He has numerous publications to his name and has received many awards in recognition for his pioneering work. We will now have a short video about Dr. Chiba.
Dr. Kazuhiro Chiba with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Agrochemistry. His pioneering efforts in the realm of agrochemistry are highly noteworthy. His research in organic chemistry particularly in developing synthetic methods for peptide pharmaceutical raw materials, has left an indelible mark. Notably, the peptide synthesis techniques pioneered by him have been pivotal in the creation of peptide-based diabetes drugs and other products. He has numerous publications to his name. His immense contribution goes beyond his role as a leading academician and researcher. Apart from being the president of Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology, he serves as the program director of Moonshot Research and Development Project and as corporate member of the Science Council of Japan. He has received numerous awards, including the Manuel M. Bazer Award. By honoring Dr. Kazuhiro Shiba with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Agrochemistry, ISF celebrates his efforts, achievements, and contributions to nation building and society.
May we kindly request Dr. Chiba to say a few words, please.
I'd like to express my sincere thanks to Swami and executive authorities. I'm feeling so happy, and this is a real honor for me. It was about 20 years ago, so I found some very small reaction, and based on the reaction, I had a dream. So if it were, it become a very great medicine. Yeah, I'm so happy. Then, so I founded a startup company about 18 years ago. The road was very tough, but last June, my method was accepted in the very big medicinal company for diabetes production. The market size is a very, very big one. So it's called Blockbuster. So, but the experience was so tough. But I decided to change my experience to education. For example, I had a very nice connection with Stanford University and Stanford Research Institute. It's an old name of the institute name, but already I sent 300 students to the institute. It was a very, very nice experience, not for me, but succeeding our student. I think that kind of innovation leader education is very important. And what is innovation leader education? The most key point is, of course, technology. The technique of innovation is very important, but I think the meeting, coincidental meeting of the best ones. I met several good people in the last 20 years. And today and the last day, I also had a great chance to expand my friend from India and Australia and several countries. So my feeling, my impression, this startup festival is so successful. I think not only me, but all of the audience. So thank you for giving me and them for such a nice opportunity. Thank you very much again.
And our final award this evening goes to Mr. Sri Atluri for excellence in fintech. Mr. Atluri is a globally recognized authority in change management, quality management, and compliance in the banking, financial services, and insurance sector. As a corporate leader, he has served in various roles across multiple organizations, such as the New York Exchange, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, amongst others. We will now have a short video about him.
Mr. Sri Atluri with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Fintech. His pioneering efforts in the fields of technology, quality, legal, and compliance within the fintech domain stand as a testament to his remarkable contributions. He has not only spearheaded, but also nurtured a robust, engineering-first culture and quality-first culture across the organizations he has been involved with, consequently facilitating the expansion of global delivery capabilities. He is internationally recognized as an authority in change management, quality assurance and compliance within the BFSI sector. His immense contribution as a corporate leader is reflected through his service in various roles across multiple organizations. He is currently serving as Managing Director, Global Head of Enterprise Quality Engineering with BNY Mellon. He has earlier held leadership roles at New York Stock Exchange, JP Morgan Chase & Co., Bank of America Merrill Lynch, BNP Paribas and Morgan Stanley. By honoring Shri Atluri with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in FinTech, ISF celebrates its efforts, achievements and contributions to nation building and society.
May we invite Mr. Atluri to share a few words.
Thank you, Sadhguruji. Thank you, Jaya Garu. It's an honor, and I'm humbled to be here. For the last couple of days, what I'm experiencing is positivity. And what I'm seeing is humbleness in everyone that I actually get to meet so far. And this is the place where Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya Garu is from. And what I heard, what I used to read when I was a kid was, if your business is to sweep, sweep in the best possible way that none can excel you in the world. And in fact, I do that. I do that religiously. And anything that you do with your heart. Anything you do, you must have a purpose. And there is no agenda-driven approach. That giving back is part and parcel of our DNA. And in fact, I do that. And Jaya Garu, you are my role model. I actually work for a financial firm. Again, you know how we all think. Money matters, but at the same time, humanity and the way we work as human beings and touching hearts and lives do matter. And a couple of years ago, exactly about 3 years ago, I started to get autistic people get engaged into technology. And I started as a pilot, getting about 5 people, ran a pilot for 6 months. And the results were phenomenal, and they showed 10x results. And now we have in our firm more than 50 autistic people who are on the spectrum working for us. And it's not an accident. We truly believe in doing it. We wanted to do that religiously. And again, I run quality engineering. That's not traditional testing. It's a future readiness. And there are brothers and sisters across the world. They really need future readiness and they need the path. For that reason, I spoke to J.A. Chaudhary Garu, and I'm going to start a foundation called Quality Engineering Foundation to really find people across the world to give back and to support and really show them the path. Thank you very much for the honor, and thank you very much for everything.
Thank you very much, sir. This evening, we have a special memorandum of exchange between the Give Life Foundation and the Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. May we invite on stage Dr. Bart Fisher from the Give Life Foundation and Dr. A.R. Raghupati, Medical Director, Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. This Memorandum of Understanding will assist India with its efforts to expand the size of bone marrow transplant registries in India all across the country.
We will also have the MOU exchange between the India Startup Foundation and the Atal Incubation Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. May we please invite Mr. Ramji Palela, Chief Operating Officer of AIC CCMB, and Mr. J.A. Chowdhury. The MOU aims to support creation of a collaborative ecosystem for startup development.
On behalf of all of us, we pray to Sadhguru to deliver his benedictory message.
It is said in Bhagavad Gita, Yadyada charati shreshtaha tattad deve taro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanuvartate. Which means, as the noble ones set an example for the others to follow, that is how the remaining society follows them. And whatever they do, that is what the society does later. So it is upon the noble ones to be exemplars in their own field of work, to create right kind of example and ideal for the rest of the society follow. And today we are very happy to celebrate so many people who have excelled in their fields, who have set an example for the next generation of entrepreneurs, business leaders, industry leaders to follow. And what a wonderful range of stalwarts, from fintech to pharmacological research to telecom revolution to storage, energy of storage, to on this side gastroenterology, I find it difficult to pronounce, gastroenterology, so Reddy Garu, and in agricultural revolution, and we have people from impact investment. And look at it, of course, the end of the spectrum is Narasimhamurthy Garu. He is an education revolution, is rural education revolution. And revolution is in the blood of Mr. J. Chowdhury. You know, he is a revolutionary of his own kind, and he has brought about this great revolution in startup ecosystem, a thinking of a different kind. And I have been always telling him that what you are doing is amazing, because you are setting a new ideal, new standard, a new framework for startups to build themselves in a way that they become ideal examples for all the world to follow. And as he and I discussed, it's not about valuations, it's about value creation. And that is what, when I was listening to Mr. Rajaram, he was telling, he hasn't made any money, but he has brought about a transformation in the entire country. Yes, we have seen that India a couple of decades ago, when we could not connect to our people, even in emergency. But today, telecommunication is on our fingertips. More than probably maybe a billion, 1.2 billion people are using telecommunication technology today. So also battery storage, so also agricultural revolution, so also a healthcare revolution, research, innovation, impact investments. Every of these ideas have revolutionized the way societies are today. And that is what is needed for the next generation to learn. So we are very happy that Jay Garu has recognized, and he found them all to be celebrated on this platform. And don't worry about the lifetime part of it, Mr. Rai. The idea is that you have done so much of work that it sounds like you have had 3-4 lifetimes so far. So this is for the work and not for your age. And definitely what you've achieved cannot be achieved in one lifetime, and that's why we think it's important that it is recognized and an example is set for others. But also Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in the same chapter of Bhagavad Gita that Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana na avaptamya na avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. I have nothing to achieve in all the 3 worlds, Bhagavan says, because there is nothing that I have not achieved and there is nothing that I need to achieve. Yet I act, yet I work. For what sake? For the sake of setting the right kind of example in the society. And that kind of selfless startup ecosystem is what I was talking about. Why should a startup happen? Yes, to solve a societal problem. Yes, to solve it in an affordable, accessible, in an acceptable way, in a sustainable way, but more importantly, it should have this component of selflessness in it, that we are doing it because the idea, the purpose is far greater than profits and everything else that follows thereafter. And if you have a purpose, you'll never get tired. You'll never feel bored. And Khalil Gibran says, all work is love made visible. When you love what you do, you are never tired of it. You never get bored. You don't need a weekend off. You don't need a holiday. You don't need to take a break because your work itself is your relaxation. You love it so much. So I think learning to love what we have got to do and finding what we love to do is very key in doing anything in life, including starting a company and making it big and making it transformative. Today, we have also thought about the bottom of the pyramid. A lot of innovation chases the top 10% customer base, which is capable of paying for it. Very little innovation chases the second tier of consumers, which are picky and choosy. And hardly an innovation happens at the bottom of the pyramid. But here are some examples who have innovated at the bottom of the pyramid also and revolutionized the way we talk, walk, eat, we communicate, we travel, and everything else that we do today. It's because of contributions of people like these who have selflessly worked towards a greater purpose and not just making a big business or making a unicorn or a billion-dollar enterprise, but with a greater purpose. And that is the idea. At our institution, I keep telling our children, find the purpose of your life. And once you find that purpose and you align all your energies towards it, you will become very powerful. You will have the energy of God with you to execute what you have set out to execute. Find the right kind of purpose and do some soul searching. Don't simply follow people like a sheep. Be a lion in your own might. And that is how you find a purpose. That is how you find the power to execute that purpose. Take an idea, as it is said, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And I think take that idea, as Swami Vivekananda says, and make it your everything. Live, breathe, eat, talk, sleep that idea. And give your everything to that idea, and that idea will happen sooner or later, because the universe conspires to help those who know what they want to do. And when that happens, you see magic happening. 10 years ago, when these institutions kind of started in a big way, expanding its footprint in rural geographies, education, healthcare, today we have, within 10 years, 30 campuses, a university, 15 hospitals, a medical college, all that is serving the society for free. When we began this journey, people said, this is very audacious, this is impossible, this is not doable. You can build a small school and run it in a rural campus, that's okay. A university which gives free education to the rural poor, a medical college that is going to give free education to everybody, a super specialty hospital that doesn't charge a rupee to anyone, pediatric cardiac care hospitals that do not have cash counters and billing counters, impossible, they said. And of course, the largest morning nutrition program in the country, they said all this is not possible, but all that has happened only because of the selflessness at the base of it. So yes, have an idea, solve a problem, build a billion-dollar enterprise, but build it on the foundation of doing selfless good for everyone's sake. And that is spirituality, that is the Indian way of life. When we thought of everybody's happiness, sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, we thought of everyone's welfare, not just our own. So this startup festival should set this kind of example in front of the world. And we just were having a round table with a lot of diplomats from over 10 countries. And this is what was being discussed, that how Indian startup ecosystem can give the right kind of framework for the rest of the world. It can be an influencer in the way businesses are done. And I think it's our time to show them how it is done. And this is your responsibility to do it. The stalwarts like Jay Chaudhary Garu are there to mentor you. So many of them are there to mentor you. But be true to yourself, be honest, be selfless. And prosperity, as Bhagavan says, Yatra Yogishwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayobhuti Dhuvaniti Matirmama. Where there is Sri Krishna, in the sense divinity, that is blessing you. And where there is Arjuna, the duty-bound Arjuna who is willing to do his part, that's where Sri Vijayobhuti, that's where prosperity happens, success happens, that's where fame happens, because these two have come together. A selfless idea is blessed by the divine, and our efforts, human efforts, when they come together, anything and everything can be achieved. These are the examples on the stage, and I'm sure many more examples are there down below the stage who are in the making. I wish you all the very best. And again, I want to say that the kind of work they have done, it takes lifetimes to do it, but they have squeezed many lifetimes in a little lifetime of their own because of their selflessness, and they only work 26 hours a day. And that's the magic, or that's the secret of it, I think, because they live, breathe, eat, talk, walk, think. They live with that idea, they do everything with that idea, and that's how they're done. We are so grateful for all of you to have come here, received this award. I'm sure this will inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs, and we look forward to your patronage for all of them and your blessings, so that they also continue to do good to the country and the world at large, especially good to those who are left behind, the bottom of the pyramid, as I always tell. You do good, more good to them. With that idea, I think, Jay Chaudhary Garu, that's it. We'll conclude this evening session, and maybe you can say a word of thanks to everyone.
Pranam Swamiji. Your blessings always inspires us, motivates us to do more. And all the luminaries sitting here, they are the role models for all the startup companies who wants to build your companies. These are the role models. They are not doing the business only for money. And every one of them in their videos, whatever you have noticed, bottom line is serving the people, serving the society. And I know when I used to go to Nageshwar Reddy Garu, morning he comes at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock to the hospital. I don't know what time he goes back to the home. Almost 20, as you were telling, he's working 26 hours a day in the hospital serving the people. In fact, I am also his patient. I've seen many times, I mean, sir, many people, they do the endoscopy and all that to diagnose the problem. He never used endoscopy at all, and only with the stethoscope he says, yes, you have got this problem. He gives one medicine, that's it. And that's the kind of doctor India has produced. And all of them are like that in their own rights. I mean, they have produced miracles, and it is possible. I think this is the lesson. All the entrepreneurs sitting here, all the people who are mentors, please mentor your startup companies to become like them. They are our role models. Sir, thank you very much for all of you. I mean, in spite of your busy schedules, you're able to come and receive the award from Swamiji and India Startup Festival. And only one request to all of you. Whenever India Startup Festival comes to you, because we come to you to help some of the poorest startups who do not have much money, who do not have much contacts. We only bring such people, and they are going to solve many problems in the rural India. So my only request, whenever we come to you, give us some time to our startups. That is the only request. Why, I mean, I am asking all of you, because without your help, without your contacts, without your blessings, I don't think they'll be able to solve the rural problems in India. Because urban problems, a lot of people have made tons of money. I don't think I also have started 2 startups. It is very easy for me to, both the startups, one got listed in NASDAQ, and we sold it to NVIDIA for $357 million. Other tech company also got acquired by NSE, National Stock Exchange. But when I started a startup company in agriculture area, and I'm a miserable failure. I could not do anything in spite of my putting all the money, 500 acres, and I am a total failure as a agripreneur. Now I know what are the difficulties to solve the problems in the rural area. That's where I need all of your help. You have to, I mean, I know you're all busy people, but give some time so that our startups, we are going to find some startups who are going to find solutions. But your time, your blessings to them, your guidance to them will be very, very useful. With that request, I thank Swamiji for blessing the India Startup Festival. It's going to the greater heights, and we are going to help many startups, thousands of startups who are going to follow your methodology, follow your selfless way of serving the public, serving the poorest of the poor. With this, I want to thank all of you for gracing the event. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, sir. And offering our collective gratitude to Sadhguru, we request all the dignitaries to come onto the stage for a group photograph, please. With this, we conclude day 2 of the India Startup Festival 2023. Thank you all once again.